Be as specific as you can, please, and tell me what you believe is the best approach to gun ownership in America. Ian Conyers.
In the United States of America, the law is clear, but it's not been applied equally. In the city of Detroit, where I'm from, it's a tale of two cities when it comes to using weapons and owning weapons. I represent a district right now that has some of the highest gun violence in the United States of America. That's a story that I know personally. I've witnessed friends lose their lives in the streets to gun violence, only to have a tepid response and no national coverage or no national narrative. Now, I believe in the Second Amendment. However, when it comes to people printing guns or being unjustly profiled for owning guns, I'm absolutely against it. I believe that Black Lives Matter, that we need to stand up every time there's a killing on either side when it's happening in our own community, and I've given my life to work in ending the narrative of gun violence in Detroit.
On guns next is Rashida Tlaib.
I'm a big supporter of Moms Demand Action, and a lot of us across the country, especially a mother like myself, all of us have been talking about this. And one of the things that is on our side is that majority of Americans believe that we can fix this gun crisis in our country without impacting our Second Amendment. And we can do that with universal background check. We can do that by taking out assault weapons from being so accessible. There's so much that we could be doing right now to ensure that the thousands of people that are victims of gun violence in our country are protected. And it won't be the permanent fix, but doing nothing is not an option at this point. And we can't stand by and pretend that the NRA and others, who I will never, ever take money from, are the experts on this issue. I think sometimes I truly believe we need to clear out the room and put moms in the room, Republican, Democrats, socialists, liberals in the room. I bet you we can fix the problem right away.
And on gun policy next, Bill Wild.
You know, I too am a believer in the Second Amendment, and my family, we have guns, and I can tell you that my guns look like my father's guns and my grandfather's guns. I am not a fan of these AR-15s. I'm not a fan of assault rifles. I think that we should ban them. I think that they are weapons of war. I think that we have to have stronger background checks. I think that we should raise the minimum age from 18 to 21 to get a gun. I also think that we need to ban bump stocks. I think that we need to outlaw these high magazine cartridges. At the end of the day, I think that 90% of America is ready for some sensible reform. And I'm not saying that we should take people's guns away, because I don't think that we should, and I don't think that the American people want that. But at the end of the day, I think with the violence that we've seen recently, that we should be working together on making our schools safer, and that there should be some wiggle room as far as sensible gun reform. America wants it, and America deserves it.
And next on American gun policy is Brenda Jones.
I believe in the Second Amendment, but I also believe that American families should be kept safe. I believe that there should be more background checks, and as your congressperson, I will work on laws that will help prevent the loopholes that are there currently, the loopholes such as where you can go to a gun show or a trade show and just purchase a gun without having a background check. There are certain loopholes in the law that should not be there that we need to make sure the laws will prevent. Again, I am Brenda Jones. I do believe in the Second Amendment, but I do believe that our families should be kept safe.
Gun policy next for Chanel Jackson.
So I am a mother of a 2-year-old daughter, and nothing on this earth means more to me than my daughter. And so I'm thankful for the Second Amendment. As a single mom who lives on the north end in the city of Detroit, I recognize that I need to be able to protect my daughter. And so I 100% support the Second Amendment and our ability as to legally own guns responsibly. However, because I'm a common sense Democrat, I recognize that we need comprehensive reform. First of all, everybody who purchases a gun anywhere in America should have to have a background check. So much of this is just common sense. And so I support that absolutely. The bottom line is this: we need leadership in Washington, D.C. that understands that you need partnerships and the ability to think in a nuanced way to be a strong leader on gun reform or any issue that we're dealing with. And I'm committed to being that for us.
And lastly on this topic, and the last for our question and answer session here, Coleman Young II.
I support the Second Amendment. with limits. I think we should ban AR-15s. I think we need to have a ban on high-capacity magazines. We need universal background checks, and we also need a national gun registry. These are things that are very important because we should not have to worry about the safety of our children when they go to school, whether they are in rural America, whether they are in suburban America, or whether they're in major cities. This is fundamentally wrong. I also think that we need to use smart technology such as fingerprint IDs or RFID chips around the finger when they use the gun in order to save lives. And we should not be printing guns off the internet. These are dangerous times, and we need serious leadership. And with me as your congressman, I will make sure that I will do everything within my power to keep us safe. I will protect the Second Amendment, but I'll also make sure it's done within reason.